Okay.
Okay, welcome to County Court of Law number 6. Via remote, it is approximately 10 o'clock a.m. on Friday, November the 20th, 2020. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pleas set today. Initially, we're going to take up cause number 649585, State of Texas versus Oscar Valdemar Rodriguez, who has 1 plea. And cause 629911 and 627571, State of Texas versus Raul Torres, who has 2 pleas. Representing Mr. Rodriguez is Mr. Oscar Hernandez. Representing Mr. Raul Torres is Mr. Martin Guerra. Representing the state as the Assistant Criminal District Attorney is Mr. Nick Maru, who will participate in all hearings today as the representative of the Criminal District Attorney's Office. Mr. Rodriguez in cause 649585 and Mr. Torres in clause 627571 and 629911. I have in front of me documents entitled Defendant's Consent to Plea by Video Conference that is purportedly signed by each of you and your attorneys. Mr. Rodriguez, is this your signature in clause 649585 on the Defendant's Consent to Plea by Video Conference?
Yes, sir, it is.
Thank you. And Mr. Hernandez, is this your signature on this document, sir?
It is, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Torres, in clause 627571 and 629911, obviously I have 2 documents for you to consider that are both entitled Defendant's Consent to Plea by Video Conference. Is this your signature on each of these documents, sir?
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
Thank you. And Mr. Guerra, as attorney for Mr. Torres, is this your signature on each of these documents, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. The next document I'm taking up is entitled Defendant's Waiver of Constitutional Rights and Court's Admonitions. I have 1 of these for Mr. Rodriguez in clause 649585, and I have 2 of these for Mr. Torres in clause 627571 and 629911. Gentlemen, I'm holding in front of you documents entitled Defendant's Waiver of Constitutional Rights and Court's Admonitions that purport to have your signatures on the back, effectively waiving certain constitutional rights you must waive in order to enter a plea before this court. Mr. Rodriguez, in clause 649585, is this your signature on this document, sir?
Yes, sir, it is.
Mr. Torres, in both cases, 627571 and 629911, is this your signature on each document, 1 for each case?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. By signing these documents, are each of you telling me that you've had enough time to either read these documents or have them read to you in their entirety? If you had any questions about what was on these documents, those questions were answered to your satisfaction by your attorneys, so that in signing these documents, you're telling me that you agree with and understand everything on these documents. Is that correct, Mr. Rodriguez?
Yes, sir.
Is that correct, Mr. Torres, on both cases?
Yes, sir.
Attorney for Mr. Rodriguez, have you had enough time to go over this case with him, and in your opinion, is he mentally competent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Same question for Mr. Guerra as attorney for Mr. Torres on both these cases.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes.
Mr. Rodriguez, are you a United States citizen, sir?
I am, Your Honor.
And same question for Mr. Torres, are you a United States citizen, sir?
Yes, sir.
And attorney for Mr. Rodriguez, Mr. Hernandez, has the state fully complied with discovery for you on this case?
They have, Your Honor.
And
I have, Your Honor.
same question for Mr. Guerra with regard to both cases on Mr. Torres.
They have, Your Honor.
Mr. Rodriguez, to the charge of unlawfully carrying a weapon, how do you plead, sir?
No contest.
You're in
True.
agreement with Mr. Rodriguez.
Yes, Judge. It's going to be 1 year Bexar County Jail, probated for 1 year, a $500 fine, court costs, 60 hours of community service, an APSE course, DWI education, regular UAs, and a motion to forfeit the weapon.
And as we discussed yesterday, it's my understanding that Mr. Hernandez, as attorney for Mr. Rodriguez, is willing to accept this weapon as additional attorney's fees with the understanding it's not to be returned to the defendant, his family, or his friends. And Mr. Hernandez, I believe you indicated to me yesterday you were willing to do that. Is that correct?
Yes, both my client and I have agreed, Your Honor.
And I've also asked Mr. Rodriguez if that's okay with him. Are you still okay with you, Mr. Rodriguez?
Yes, sir, it is.
So with regard to the state, in the nicest possible way, I'd like to deny the state's motion to destroy the weapon and award it to defense counsel with a strict understanding it's not to go back to the defendant, his family, or his friend. Is that agreeable to the state?
Understood, Judge.
And I believe there were some other DWI classes that were talked about yesterday by Mr. Wright. The only one we're talking about today is DWI education, correct?
That's correct, Judge.
Okay, let's see if I got this straight. Mr. Rodriguez, in cause 649-585, the court accepts your plea of no contest. I find you guilty. I says 1 year in the Bear County Jail, probated for 1 year, a $500 fine plus court costs, 60 hours community service, APSE stress management course, DWI education course, regular analysis test. Motion to destroy the weapon is denied, and I believe it's a Ruger 380 handgun. Is to be awarded to defense counsel with the understanding it's not to be returned to the defendant, his family, or his friends. Is that correct, State?
Yes, Judge.
Is that correct, defense?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, good luck, Mr. Rodriguez. And with regard to probation, Pat, do we have an understanding from probation? Are they going to contact Mr. Rodriguez, or how's this going to work?
Yes, they will be contacting him within 48 hours. If they do not contact you within 48 hours, call the main office at 335-7200 and ask for intake, okay?
Yes, ma'am. I am on probation now. I'm actually on monitor. So how does that work? Do I have the same officer or?
Yes, you'll probably have the same officer.
Okay, yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Pat and Judge, how do we get that monitor off? That was just a condition of his bond.
I think probation or has to send something. I believe you got to check with them.
Okay.
Okay.
Everybody stop talking, please. Is Mr. Rodriguez currently on probation for another case, or is he just on pretrial for this case?
He was on pretrial for this case, and then he had a
NTR. Okay, we're gonna, I'll put down on the order, theoretically by operation of law, any kind of pretrial requirements, including GPS, scram, weekly report in UA, all that stuff is gonna be recalled and waived, and it basically just the requirements of the current probation are gonna be in effect. Okay, Mr. Rodriguez? If you
Yes,
have any
sir. Thank you.
problems with that, our office number is 210-335-2156. That's our office. You can call up there, talk to the clerks. They'll track down either Pat or me. And obviously you can get with your attorney and they'll get up with us, but we'll get it fixed, whatever it is. Fair enough?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right. Good luck, Mr. Hernandez.
Thank you.
You bet. All right, with regard to Mr. Torres in cause 627-571 to the charge, did this start out as a DWI first offense, or is this something the state's gonna have to put a motion in to reduce?
No, motion to reduce is on the next cause number, Judge.
Okay, so cause 627-571 is a straight DWI first offense originally, correct?
Yes, Judge.
Okay. Mr. Torres, in clause 627-571 to the charge of driving while intoxicated, first offense, how do you plead, sir?
No contest, Your Honor.
Thank you. Is there an agreement for Mr. Torres in 627-571?
Yes, Judge. It's going to be 6 months, Bear County Jail, probated for 12 months, a $400 fine, court costs, 36 hours of community service, DWI intervention, HIP, CAT, SNP, and Smart Start Mobile for half of the probation term.
Yeah, I assume it runs concurrent with the other case. Is that correct?
Yes, Judge, it will.
Okay, and defense, is that your understanding of the agreement?
It is, Your Honor.
Mr. Torres, in cause 627-571, the court accepts your plea of no contest, defense of driving while intoxicated, first offense. I find you guilty. I said 6 months in the Bear County Jail, probated for 1 year, $1,200 fine plus court costs, 36 hours community service, DWI intervention course, Community Alliance for Traffic Safety New Intervention Program, Smart Start Mobile for 1/2 the term, so that'll be 6 months. In this case, we'll run concurrent with 629-911. Anything further from the state of the defense on Mr. Torres in 627-571?
No, Judge.
And
Your Honor.
Go ahead.
Your Honor, just if he can submit an affidavit of no driving, because he doesn't own a vehicle, he's not driving, and so instead of Smart Start, we'd ask that he be allowed to have the portable alcohol monitor.
Is he currently on interlock for the car, or is he currently on Smart Start Mobile?
He actually has Scram right now.
Okay. Well, we're going to waive the Scram and put him on Smart Start Mobile. He doesn't need a car. That way I can monitor him 24 hours a day and make sure we don't have any fall off the wagon issues. He has 2 pending DWIs he's fixing to be on probation for, so he's high profiled, and we need to monitor him and make sure we don't have a problem with regard to starting drinking again. Okay? We're going to initiate it at 4 blows a day, which is the standard on Smart Start Mobile. If we get any positives along the way, we'll talk again. It could be cranked up to 6 or 8 or put back on scram, and we don't want to do that, so let's not have any issue. All right, anything further from the State of the Defense on Mr. Torres in 627571?
No, Judge.
No, Your Honor.
I'm also going to annotate on this plea that we're recalling all prior pretrial service bond conditions, which are going to include scram, weekly report in UA, GPS, anything else bad I probably did to Mr. Torres under the circumstances. Okay, Mr. Torres, about 629911, and state this is also indicated to me as being a DWI first offense. Is it higher than that, and you're going to put a motion to reduce it, or what are we doing on this one?
Yes, Judge. It should be with a BAC higher than 0.15, and the state is going to move to waive the enhancement and proceed as a DWI first.
Okay, good job, defense. That will be granted. Therefore, in cause 629911, Mr. Torres, for the charge of driving while intoxicated, first offense, how do you plead, sir?
No contest, Your Honor.
And state, is there an agreement in this case, please?
Yes, Judge. It's going to be 6 months Bexar County Jail, probated for 16 months, a $450 fine, court costs, 48 hours of community service, DWI intervention, DIP, CAT SNP, Smart Start Mobile for half of the probation term, and restitution, if any, to a Mr. Daniel Pena.
PENA, I'm guessing.
Yes, Judge.
And defense, is that your understanding of the agreement?
That is, Your Honor.
On the last case, 627571, I'm going to add the DWI victim impact panel, which I neglected to put on there just because it's on both of them and they're running concurrent. So we have a continuity going here. All right, let's make sure I don't miss anything. With regard to 629911, the court has granted the state's motion to waive the greater than 0.15 enhancement, making this a DWI first. I accept Mr. Torres' plea of no contest to the offense of driving while intoxicated, first offense. I find him guilty. I assess 6 months in the Bexar County Jail, probated for 16 months, $450 fine plus court cost, 48 hours community service, DWI intervention, DWI victim impact panel, Community Alliance for Traffic Safety New Intervention Program, Smart Start Mobile home interlock for 1/2 the term or 8 months, and restitution, if any, to Daniel Pena. Is that correct, state?
Correct, Judge.
And is that correct, defense?
Yes, Your Honor.
And this will run CC with the first case, 627571. So for Mr. Torres, every dollar you pay on one case counts on the other one. Every program you go to for one case counts for the other case, and we'll minimize your time doing it. Anything further from the state of the defense on Mr. Torres?
No, Judge.
No,
Mr.
Your
Torres,
Honor.
you now have 2 DWI convictions. The next one's going to be a felony. So let's don't have a next one. Fair enough, sir?
Yes, sir. One question, Your Honor.
Sure.
Am I going to jail?
Nope. You want to go to jail?
No, sir. I
I
haven't.
didn't
No,
think
sir. Okay.
Second.
Sir, well, thank you, Your Honor. I mean, that'll work out perfect. It's 2 for 1.
I want to be real candid with you, Mr. Torres. Your attorney's done a superb job so that you're not going to jail. So keep him around. He's handy to have.
Yes, sir.
But the ball's in your court. He can't watch you all the time. So make sure, your days of drinking are over. So you better look yourself in the mirror and just understand that's not going to work anymore. Because if you get 1 sip of alcohol on your breath, as we all know here that are here today, if a police officer stops you and you've had 1 sip of beer and you have 2 prior DWIs on your record, you're getting arrested. And we all know that, and you know that. So don't let that happen, okay?
Sir, we'll do.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Torres. Best of luck. Thank you, Mr. Guerra. You're excused.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay, we're ready, Mr. Gaines, Mr. Frillitt. Hi, Mr. Gaines. Andrew?
Yeah, can I break out with my client for a couple minutes? Just need to check on some record.
Sure, y'all need to go to a chat room.
Yeah, just a quick breakout.
You wanted a breakout room?
Yeah,
Okay.
just for a couple minutes so I can talk to my client. Just want to make sure we're on the same page. I don't think it's gonna be a problem.
got it? Has it shown yet? There you go.
Nick, you escaped the jail court. Welcome back.
Andrew? Oh, there you go.
There
Okay.
he goes. I'm back and forth, Judge. I'm a hired gun at this point. I'm just gonna go wherever they want me to go, and I'm not gonna complain. And oh, we're still on YouTube. Can we go off YouTube?